Jett calling in from the Big Island of Hawaii. And man, it's just so great to be on the call with you guys. I got to tell you, what I'm sharing with you tonight, this is the most exciting thing of my business career. This is really the pinnacle of everything I've learned and studied over the years. And I really compare this to being in at that early stages of the development of the internet. If you can think back and remember back into the early 1980s, when as the internet and the World Wide Web was released, people just thought that was for computer geeks. You'd see, computer geeks or computer nerds use that stuff, or people who are into pornography use that stuff. It was sort of laughed at. And but then what happened in around 83, there was over $1 billion of VC, venture capital money, that came into the internet. And basically, they started putting together platforms for mass usage. And, because of that investment of capital that came in, because some of the greatest and brightest minds in the world got involved, you had companies like Amazon that got introduced, selling books over the internet. You had companies like eBay got set up, where eBay was the marketplace. Then you had AOL come out, and they actually signed up tens of millions of people around the world to use email with their campaign of just inundating the public with free offers of free usage of email. And, so it was from that whole mass adoption occurred. And now everyone in the world utilizes the internet, and we've seen how it's changed the world. Well, I hope that parallel is hitting you in your heart and getting into you, because that's exactly how you're positioned by being on this call tonight. You really want to thank the person who invited you and put you in this spot to get this information now, because you are an early adopter. Right now, 99% of the people in the world don't know about Bitcoin, don't know about cryptocurrency, they don't know about the blockchain, and they don't understand how the world's going to change. But by you having this information now, you are going to be able to benefit financially as the masses of people around the world start utilizing and taking advantage of this technology. You see, last year, there was $1.5 billion of VC, venture capital money, that was spent in the Bitcoin cryptocurrency blockchain space. And all that money is coming in to do two things: to secure the network and to make the platforms easy for use for everyone. They want to set up platform use to where your grandmother can press a button on her computer and send Bitcoin, send money to someone else. If she wants to send $10 to her grandson, she can now just do it in an email and be able to send it. And she doesn't even have to know she's dealing with Bitcoin, but that's the type of platforms, the ease of use thing that the masses are going to be taking advantage of here over the next 10 years. And so by being an early adopter, you're going to be able to take advantage of this financially. Now, the purpose of this call is to get your questions answered, because I just want to make sure you do not have regret 10 years from now in terms of missing being in that right place at the right time. Bitcoin has been the #1 investment in the world since that 2008 global financial crisis. So that means in 2009, if you would have had a friend who had told you to get on a call and share this information about Bitcoin, that this is going to be gold 2.0, that they're finding a way to store value because of what happened in the financial crisis, the way to be able to move currency, to move value over the internet, and this is going to really change the world. And if you could have got on that call in 2009, they said, look, if you just invest $1,000 into this, this has an opportunity to grow to millions of dollars for you. Well, if you would have looked at that situation, because last year at the end of 2016, $1,000 investment in Bitcoin in 2009 would have been worth $9 million last year. So if you would have had that information in 2009 and you didn't act on it, I really believe you'd have some regret right now in your life. You'd be like, I might have blown it. I blew an incredible opportunity. That's what I don't want to have happen in your life in these next 6 years, going into 2024. Because we know where this asset is going now. And we're able to help you accumulate the asset through our mining operations. And so that's what we're sharing. I want to just share with you 3 specific ways you can benefit financially from this information. Bit Club Network has become the 6th largest mining company for Bitcoin in the world. And we're still accepting members for the mining of Bitcoin. And so we think by the end of this year, we'll be within the top 3 mining companies in the world. And I want you guys to understand what an accomplishment that is. Since Bitcoin began in 2009, there's been hundreds of thousands of people around the world who have tried mining for Bitcoin. And our company started September 2014. We began the company with one of the top miners in the world. It was a coordinated effort. Businessmen came together, computer programmers, the top miner. And basically, this coordinated effort, we were able to become the 15th largest mining company in the world in 2015, moved to the 6th largest company in the world last year, 2016. And that's 6th largest. That was with 100 petahash of mining equipment. A petahash is like 1 million laptop computers. So 100 petahash is like 100 million laptop computers securing the blockchain, securing this network of computers around the world with transactions. Well, since the beginning of this year, 2017, we've already added another 100 petahash. We've doubled our size to be able to get more Bitcoin for our members. We believe by the end of this year, we'll be adding an additional 100 petahash. So we're talking about by the end of 2017, the equivalent of some 300 million laptop computers securing the worldwide network. And our members being able to participate daily in that profit generating as we're getting Bitcoin every day for our members. So basically, in our mining operation, we've put in place a strategic game plan where a person gets started with us at what's called the founder level. As a founder, you get certain benefits. But as the strategic game plan is that we're showing our people by you're buying mining equipment. That's what you buy for a $3,600 founder's position. You buy mining equipment. And basically what we're teaching our people to do strategically is to take place of what's called the magic of compound interest, meaning you reinvest your profits to be able to get more in a bigger stake of our mining pool. So what we're sharing with people is that if you do 100% reinvestment for this year, 2017, you do 100% reinvestment for next year, 2018, then January 2019, you reset your mining pools to where you can start getting your maximum distribution out every day. That distribution is paid right into your account every day. And so by doing it that way, where you compound your pools for 2 years, and then you take your maximum distribution starting January of 2019, that's going to give you 365 days, a full year of receiving the Bitcoin coming from the daily mining operations. And the reason that we strategically have put this in place is to take advantage of a major event that happens in the life of Bitcoin called the halving event that occurs July 2020. The halving event means that currently there's 12.5 Bitcoin every 10 minutes that's given out in the world community, that miners are securing the network, are receiving these 12.5 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. And that happens 365 days a year, 7 days a week. It's just an ongoing thing, some 1,800 Bitcoin of just every day being kicked out. Well, July 2020, that amount cuts into half. It goes from 12.5 every 10 minutes to 6.25. This is one of the things that increases the value of Bitcoin because we're talking about a limited asset. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin ever produced in the world. But because it's a limited asset and there's more and more people utilizing it every day, more and more people getting wallets every day, there'll be hundreds of millions of people starting to utilize Bitcoin in the years to come. That means the price of the Bitcoin rises and continues to rise. So with our strategic plan of compounding your mining pool shares for these first 2 years, taking your full distribution in 2019, in those first 6 months of 2020, that's going to allow people purchasing those founders position to accumulate anywhere from 30 to 60 Bitcoin in 2020. So with that halving event occurring, there's people like Sir Richard Branson from Virgin Atlantic. He started Virgin Records, Virgin Airlines, a multi-billionaire out of the UK. And he believes that, we're hearing from people like Tim Draper that Bitcoin will be over 10,000. And he's saying 10,000 as soon as next year, 2018. But Richard Branson believes Bitcoin will be over 20,000 a coin because of just several factors in 2020. Number one factor is what I just described to you, this halving event. The fact that every time you look through history, when the price gets cut in half of the amount of Bitcoin distributed in the open market, you see 3 to 6 months after that, the price of Bitcoin rises. It goes up. And you can look through history in 2012 and then again last year, and that's just been a general trend. So that's going to cause the price to rise. But also, Richard Branson's aware of what's going on in the online gaming community. That's a $35 billion a year industry. They're sick and tired of dealing with Visa and MasterCard. Basically, people lose money and they go and try to get their money back, and they get hit with chargebacks. And so you're seeing the online gaming community switching over to Bitcoin because it's less of a fee and there's no chargebacks with Bitcoin. And so with that whole industry starting adopting Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin is going to rise. Another major event is Singapore. This country is one of the largest shipping ports in the world. And they're making a Bitcoin-friendly society. They're setting up Bitcoin ATMs throughout the country. They're setting up when the shipping ports, so as the ships are coming in, they can easily exchange currency utilizing Bitcoin. So with that type of adoption, that's going to raise the price. And then the other factor is an ETF. We just heard about the Winklevoss twins from Facebook, where the SEC just did not approve their ETF just last week. However, there's 2 more ETFs coming up for approval. And it's not a question of if an ETF will be approved or not with Bitcoin. It's simply a question of when. Sooner or later, something's going to get approved. And that's going to allow for hundreds of millions of institutional dollars now to come into Bitcoin. And that's going to be rising the price and making the price rise. And so these are the factors where we're talking about if you today said, wow, this is great information. I'm going to get some Bitcoin. And, we said the founder's position is $3,600. So if you wanted to buy $3,600 of Bitcoin today, it's at $1,100 a Bitcoin. So you could get like 3 Bitcoin. And so if you purchase 3 Bitcoin and you just sat on it for 2020, and then Bitcoin's up over 20,000 a Bitcoin at that time, yeah, that's the great return on investment. You take $3,600, turn it into 60,000. Yeah, you're going to be happy with that. However, we're sharing with people a way to become wealthy. That's why this is so exciting. That's why this is the pinnacle of my business career, because through the mining operation, we can show you how in a short time period, just 3 years, to accumulate anywhere from 30 to 60 Bitcoin through mining with the halving occurring. However, so, let's say the low end, let's say you only got 30 Bitcoin. So if that's 20,000, that's still 600,000. It's still a great estate that you've accumulated from a one-time investment. However, here's how come I'm talking about a multi-million-dollar decision for you and your family. Because by doing the mining, you continue to get new Bitcoin year in and year out. 2021, 2025, 2030, 2040. You continue to get Bitcoin into the future from a one-time investment. So all the economists are saying once Bitcoin is over where 1% of the world's population, there's 7 billion people in the world, 1% would be 70 million people. When 70 million people in the world are moving value over their computer utilizing Bitcoin, Bitcoin has to be over 100,000 a coin. So as I said, more and more people use it. The price is just going to rise and rise and rise. And you are, by mining, will continue to be getting new Bitcoin year in and year out for the rest of your life. That's where we're talking about being able to set up wealth for yourself and your family. So that's the first aspect that we really want you to make sure you have understanding on from a passive investment standpoint, to take advantage of the mining operations, to be able to set yourself and your family up with ongoing wealth for the rest of your life through the accumulation of Bitcoin. The second thing, though, is for those of you who want to earn Bitcoin, who want to make money, because, as I said, we're going to be purchasing another 100 petahash of mining equipment by the end of this year. That's hundreds of millions of dollars to do that, you guys. And so we're crowdfunding to do that. We're allowing other people to participate, and we let everybody share in the profits. And so you can share with other people. They can get involved in these mining operations. They can purchase a founder's position. They'll be able to accumulate and get Bitcoin on an ongoing basis from this to be able to set themselves up for an estate to literally make millions of dollars. And in helping people do that, you're paid a referral fee. And we pay every day, and that just gets put right into your account. And basically, with your referral fees, we can show you how you can improve your lifestyle with that money right now. Meaning, we can show you how to load it on a Visa card. So anywhere in the world, Visa's accepted. You can spend your Bitcoin that way. There's so many places where you can just spend it right now. Expedia.com, cheapair.com, for all your hotels and air travel. At Amazon, so many people shop at Amazon and they have no idea that if they pay for their items in Bitcoin, they can get a 15 to 30% discount off of the prices they're paying today using their MasterCard and their Visa. So people just don't know that. They have no idea if they paid in Bitcoin, they can get, say, 20, 30% off the same purchase that they're making today using their MasterCard or their Visa. So we got to educate people about that. But, purchases like that. So obviously, if you do make that decision, you want to take the Bitcoin you earn from referrals and convert it back into US dollars, then that creates a tax liability. You do have to pay a capital gains tax. However, there's so many ways to be able to spend your Bitcoin by loading it on a Visa. With so many, and there'll be so many more businesses accepting Bitcoin. You can actually just use it that way and really utilize and accumulate this wealth as a tax haven for yourself and your family. So that's the second thing if you want to share other people about the mining operations and be able to earn revenue that way. The third way, though, this is really the most lucrative. This is sort of the most exciting for those of you who want to really do something incredible financially for yourself and your family. We are starting a subsidiary company called CoinPay. And CoinPay is a smart payment app, which allows merchants to be able to accept Bitcoin. And I tell you, this smart payment app, you look at the profits of companies like Visa, companies like MasterCard, they make a 3% on these transactions, and these companies make billions and billions of dollars every year from that 3% rate that they receive. Well, basically, in sharing with merchants the benefits of accepting Bitcoin, instead of 3%, they only pay 1%. So that's a 67% savings. They're able to keep more of their profits, more of their money for the business owner instead of paying it to the bank. The other advantage, though, is that there's no chargebacks with Bitcoin. So many small business owners will tell you horror stories where they get hit with a bunch of chargebacks, then the bank puts a hold on their account, and it completely messes up their cash flow. So now they can accept payment in Bitcoin, never, ever have to worry about chargebacks. And the other advantage, though, to the business owner is the BitClub Network membership base itself. Because we're able to tell businesses in accepting Bitcoin, we have tens of thousands of members, and we'll give you free advertising with our member base, where basically we'll be able to direct business to you from our membership, because these are people who have got Bitcoin, accumulating Bitcoin, and now we'll direct them to you to spend their Bitcoin by utilizing our smart payment app. So it sets up another revenue stream to the merchants. I've been doing these calls with Michael here over the last couple months, and I've been telling people, we're talking about no sales here in educating about our CoinPay smart payment app. We're just talking about educating people. And I said, you have to have a 15, 20-minute conversation with a business owner, and they'll see the value of why they might want to accept Bitcoin. Well, I just came into Kona, Hawaii a couple days ago, and I was at a physical therapist yesterday in Kona. And, she was telling me a new business has been there in a year. They're still trying to build their client base. She's telling me all these things. And so as I checked out the pay, I said, do you accept Bitcoin? And she said, no, what's Bitcoin? I've heard about Bitcoin. I said, well, you need to accept Bitcoin. Here's my MasterCard, but if I pay with that, this is 3%. If you accepted Bitcoin, we have a smart payment app where it would only be 1%. You get to keep more of my money if I paid in Bitcoin. I will prefer to pay in Bitcoin, and you get to keep more money. Why don't you accept Bitcoin? Well, she said, I just didn't know. I want to accept it. I didn't know. I said, here's another advantage, though, of why you want to accept Bitcoin. We have a membership, Big Club membership. We have tens of thousands of members. There's people right here in Kona who are Big Club members. We'll be able to direct business people to you who want to spend Bitcoin, free advertising. They'll come in and you never have chargebacks, and we'll give you free advertising with our members. She said, well, how can I accept Bitcoin? I want to do it. So I gave her our newwealth.info. So it wasn't a 15, 20-minute conversation. It was a 3-minute conversation. And she's like, I want to do it. I want to accept Bitcoin. Now, here's the funny thing about this. I'm having a conversation with the business owner. As I finished the conversation paying for my bill, a woman who was sitting on the couch, she said, excuse me, sir, can I have this information about accepting Bitcoin? She said, I've got a business, and it's a rental business. And we ran $5 million through credit card charges last year in 2016. If we could save 2%, get people to pay in this Bitcoin you're talking about, save that, that would be hundreds of thousands of additional revenue for our company. I'd like that information. I'd like to sign up for that. You guys, that was a 3-minute conversation. This is going to be the most lucrative aspect of our business because you'll be able, here's the key, being an early adopter. You know about this information before 99% of the population knows. So as we release that platform, currently it's released in Korea and in Hong Kong, but in the next couple months, it'll be released global. So you can then go to business owners, share with them the advantage of accepting Bitcoin, and basically those that choose to do it, you get them set up with a smart payment app. Every time they have someone pay in Bitcoin because you set that business up, you're paid on that every single day. How long? As long as that place is in business. That place is going to be in business 40 years. You'll be paid every day for 40 years on those transactions done in Bitcoin. I hope you got a vision there of how just in sharing information you can put in place for yourself instead of these billions going to Visa and MasterCard. Why not set yourself up to where tens of millions of dollars can go to yourself and your family over these next 20, 30 years as you get a percentage of what businesses are transacting, having an easier and better form of currency. So that's the third aspect of our merchant platform. Very exciting. Be released here in the next couple months. Everyone at the founder position will be able to do that, to invite businesses to take advantage of it. Also, as a founder position, you're given shares in our subsidiary company, CoinPay. We plan to create an event as we sign up tens of thousands of merchants around the world to be able to sell CoinPay to Visa or MasterCard, one of these major companies. And so we're going to give you shares of stock in that company so you'll be able to benefit financially as well as a Big Club Network member. So here's the last thing, and then I'll open it up for questions. Because to me, this is what many of you guys are not forgetting. This, to me, is the most valuable aspect of your membership with Big Club Network. You see, you'd be connected with the top people in the world in the cryptocurrency field. I mean, I started the call talking about the internet and what transpired there over the internet as new opportunities came. And, you know, think about it. If you would have been connected with folks who could have told you that a company called Google's coming out with a search engine and it's going to be better than a Yahoo, it's going to be better than these other things, and we can get you in at the beginning of that. Or you connected with people who tell you a company called Facebook is coming out, and we really think that's going to change the world. Or a company called YouTube is coming out. Or a company called Skype is coming out. You see, your connection with Big Club Network, our top leaders, they don't live in their homes working regular jobs like folks do. No, they're in planes. They're traveling the world. They're meeting every day. They're meeting with the Richard Bransons. They're meeting at the conferences at Acapulco with the Richard Beers. And they're meeting with the top people in the world dealing in the cryptocurrency field. They know the miners. We know all the top miners. We know everybody. They know all the top people in the industry. So they hear about everything coming up. And so right now, a lot of people think in the cryptocurrency field, maybe Ethereum, a cryptocurrency called Ethereum might be the Apple to like how Microsoft started with the internet, but then Apple became a very successful company. So a lot of people think, oh, maybe Ethereum might be Apple with cryptocurrency. It has a lot of great features. Well, guess what? We were told about that. We also mine for Ethereum. We set that up for our Big Club Network members to take advantage of that. Then we just got told in November about there's a complete global demand for a completely anonymous cryptocurrency. Billions and billions of dollars. People want to move money completely anonymously. And so top developers in the world worked over a year to form a cryptocurrency called Zcash. A lot of people think this is going to be one of the most lucrative cryptocurrencies on the market. We were told about it at the beginning, before they even started. Right now, Big Club Network is the largest miner for Zcash. And so here's what folks are not getting. A year from now, 2 years from now, you're accumulating, you're involved in this. You're going to be told about the next Google, the next Skype, the next thing, to where you can go ahead and place money, place funds, place money that you're earning through the cryptocurrency to be able to really escalate your net worth and escalate the amount of personal wealth you can accumulate as this field grows and accepted around the world. Those associations, you guys, are invaluable. That's what we're getting at Big Club Network. And so I'm just so excited and so proud to be part of this, to be at sort of the ground floor of something that is going to have the same impact and change the world just as much as the internet did. So, Michael, that's sort of my overview in terms of my excitement about it. And I'll just be more than happy to open it up for questions and take any questions people have at this time.
Thanks so much, Jett.
And there's two ways to do questions. Yeah, they can write their questions in the chat box, or you can press a button on your Zoom box and raise your hand and come in live and ask your question. So the lines are open. Let's go ahead and take some questions.
If anybody has any questions at this time, please go ahead. Just type in, click on the chat button at the bottom, type in your question. There we go. First question, Jett. How and when did you first hear about the Big Club Network?
Big Club Network started September 2014. I heard about it that latter part of 2014. And at the same time, I was hearing about several other cryptocurrency companies. There was a company called OneCoin, a company called Coinspace. And basically, the research that I was doing and finding, I was looking for something that was legitimate and real. And I was finding a lot of the cryptocurrency companies that I looking at was not legitimate. And so when I found out about Big Club Network, I said they had to prove to me that the mining works, that the people that were investing were actually making money from mining, not just from the sharing and the crowdfunding aspect. And that's what happened. As I said, in 2015, they became the 15th largest mining company in the world. 2016 moved up to the 6th largest mining company in the world. You can look on a third-party website called blockchain.info. And on that website, you can see that there's been over $30 million paid to Big Club Network for the mining of Bitcoin. So they've created that wealth for the memberships through mining, but then also Big Club Network created their own club called ClubCoin. And they've distributed 80 million ClubCoin for free to the members. And now they're going to unleash a campaign to add value to ClubCoin, where currently on the open market, you can buy that at 30 cents a coin. And basically, there's going to be a game plan in place to get that coin selling in that $5 to $10 by the end of this year. And so basically, that's just creating wealth. That's creating tens of millions of dollars of wealth for the Big Club Network members. And so if there was no crowdfunding, if they simply took the membership base as it is today, because of what's happening with the mining, with the currently 200 petahash of mining equipment that we have securing the network, there will be hundreds of millions of dollars paid to Big Club Network from mining alone that the founders, the members, will be participating in on a daily basis. And so the legitimacy of this operation, and in terms of the speed and how they grew, that's how come I felt compelled that this is something that I had to let people know about, that this was an opportunity for people to take a couple $1,000s investment and be able to put in place for themselves millions of dollars of earnings as Bitcoin became accepted and being utilized around the world.
Excellent, Jett. I had a text message come in here. They said, how do you purchase equipment with the Big Club Network?
You purchase your founder's position, and as you purchase your founder's position, that equipment is purchased for you. The company handles that. They buy the equipment, they ship it to our facilities, and they hook up your equipment to our existing equipment. And so that takes about a 10-day period from the day your purchase goes through, the purchase and the shipping and the hooking up to our equipment. And so starting the 11th day, that's when you start seeing your daily distribution from the mining operations.
Excellent. From Bobby Kennedy, if we have someone who has a network of people, what is your recommendation for the first contact meeting? And I am getting a little background noise from you, Jett. You're getting a little wind. I have a couple people text me. Yeah, a little wind coming in.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Let's move in here, you guys. The wind is bothering folks. Is that a little bit better?
Much better, much better.
Okay, great. Basically, my recommendation is that, since you're talking about an investment, I recommend for people not really to do this in large group settings. I think it's so much better because you want to talk to individuals and because so many people are different. Some people just want to do $3,600 founder position, just want to sort of try the mining operation. Some people want to do an investment and they want to move 100,000. They want to move 200,000. We've signed up so many people where they're buying, 40, 50 positions, and we're doing different things with them. So I think it's more of an individual thing where we educate people and then find out for that individual what's going to work out best for their goals in terms of how they want to take advantage of this. And so in doing that, what I end up recommending is utilizing that www.newwealth.info video to be able to educate them. John, can you close that door for me? Thank you. To be able to educate them to get an understanding about Bitcoin, about Bitcoin mining, about the different ways of being able to earn money with Big Club Network membership, and then simply getting more of an individual basis to answer their questions. So if I had somebody who had a membership base, I would simply advise them to share with their membership base, do you know what the #1 investment in the world is since the 2008 global financial crisis? An investment that if you would have made in 2009, put $1,000 into it, you would have over $9 million at the end of 2016. We can help you accumulate that asset right now over these next 6 years. Watch this video and then get your questions answered. So I would refer people, instead of a group meeting session, to utilize the video to educate where a person can look at that information, then they can do their own research online, own research on Google, and then get their individual questions answered. And then they can talk from the standpoint of an individual, what they want to do from their investment portfolio to best take advantage of this. So that would be my recommendation. Michael, do you have any different recommendations on that?
I feel the same way, Jett. Having a conversation one-on-one with individuals that are, are much more powerful, because we're talking about investments and money and the personal issues. And group settings, people aren't going to ask the right questions because they're surrounded with their, coworkers, friends, maybe, or not friends. So yeah, one-to-one conversation, a phone call works great. I'm in Thermopolis, Wyoming. My network of people are not here in this little county with one stoplight. And so yes, I've reached out by the phone and have a quick conversation with them. Send them to newwealth.info, let them look at the information, and then I bring them to this platform. Bring your questions here. You're going to hear other people asking questions, and you may not even have to ask yours because they'll ask it for you. But this has been a process for me of exposing them to the information so they can make a real good educated decision for themselves if this is a good fit.
I agree. The next question comes from Kaya. Does each member get the chance to win the Bitcoin through the mining that's awarded every 10 minutes, or is that going to Big Club Network? No, the mining is going to Big Club Network. Our mining equipment, that reward, that block, that 12.5 Bitcoin is given to Big Club Network. And then at the end of each day, we take all the money from all the blocks that we've accumulated, and that's what's dispersed into everyone's account at the end of each day. And so all the members are sharing equally in the daily distribution of Bitcoin. And this is how come the compounding for 2 years works so well, because that allows you to compound your mining pool shares. So basically, in 1 year, it takes a $3,600 investment and makes it equivalent with that 1 year compounding to $21,500 investment. And so you're getting a greater portion of the mining share money coming to you each day. And that's how come we're able to help people do the strategic plan to accumulate more Bitcoin. Can you elaborate on the importance of getting 3 founders positions? Yeah, that's what I advise people. I'm like, I'm sharing with people, this is a multi-million-dollar chance for wealth accumulation. And you can really expedite that by getting 3 of the founders positions. And here's the reason why, because we're saying a founder's position, utilizing the strategic plan, is going to get anywhere from 30 to 60 Bitcoin. Well, if you have 3 of them, now you're talking about that's anywhere from 90 to 180 Bitcoin. Well, your first position, and then you put the second 2 up under you. And so what that does is that daily reinvestment amount, you're able to benefit from that as well. And that helps you even accumulate more Bitcoin that way. And so what a person is doing from a 10,000 investment with 3 founders position, they're really putting in place for themselves to accumulate over $1 million as soon as 2020. So that's what I'm always advising people to do. That if you're saving for the future, if you're looking toward retirement, if you're looking for a way to million, to take $10,000 and now to be able to position yourself to have over $1 million accumulated with anywhere from 90 to 180 Bitcoin in 2020, when Bitcoin's up over 20,000 of Bitcoin. I mean, you've really accelerated this whole process. You get more Bitcoin that way, and you're able to accumulate more that way. So that's the reason I recommend 3 founders positions when people get started. King Roy said, I just became a founder, and this is my first time on the call, and he's enjoying it. Great call. Appreciate that feedback. Michael, that's the type of feedback I like hearing.
That's positive feedback. It's bringing value out there. I really enjoy that. Thanks.
We got Charlie here. In the process for the same for mining Ethereum. Yes, the Ethereum mining pools, it's the same process. However, with the Ethereum, because of the chips used, it's a different type of chip. We're not able to do that daily reinvestment with your Ethereum. So every day with the Ethereum mining, the amount of Ethereum we receive is distributed to all the members, and that just goes into your account. And so that's the same with Ethereum and the same with Zcash. We can't reinvest it for you to get that compounding effect. You're just on a daily basis receiving Ethereum. And, we've seen the price of Ethereum increase 300% over the last month. And so those of the people who are involved in Big Club Network who've been mining for Ethereum, they're just so pleased because they're seeing, wow, they're getting Ethereum and they're seeing the price of it just will continue to rise and rise as well. So that's the one distinction with that, Charlie. There is not a reinvestment with the Ethereum mining and the Zcash mining. You just get your distribution. It's placed in your wallet every day. And a lot of people say, well, that money's placed in your wallet. Can you move it out of your wallet? Can you spend it? Yes, you can set up Ethereum wallets. You can set up Zcash wallets. You can leave it there for accumulation in your Big Club Network wallet. Or if you want to go ahead and start utilizing that, you can move it out from Big Club Network and utilize those assets. So you'll just keep getting it, though, because since you are signed up for the mining, you will continue to get it year in and year out. It's not going to stop. You keep getting additional Ethereum, additional Zcash once you got started with that mining equipment. Sandy says, can you address the hard fork that may be taking place and how that may affect the Bitcoin price? How would it affect mining? Basically, I don't think that would be good for me to do. It's all speculation. Why should I stand up here and speculate what's going to happen with the hard fork? You look at when Ethereum hard fork, when it hard forked, the prices went down, and now they've recovered and it's gone back up. So that's the history with the hard fork with Ethereum. But for me to speculate what's going to occur if Bitcoin hard forks, don't know. So it would just be speculation if I said anything. Do you want to add anything on that, Michael?
I couldn't add anything to that, Jett. I mean, it'd be, like you said, speculation. As far as the mining goes, though, for us, we're secure because it doesn't matter which direction the hard fork goes. We have the equipment. They're going to mine the Bitcoin that has the most value because that's who we're partnered with. They're going to make sure they follow the right Bitcoin, in other words.
Yeah, great point. Yeah, as far as us with our mining, we're going to mine whatever is the one is the most successful. So we're going to keep mining and
Right.
point all of our equipment that way. So we'll still be accumulating Bitcoin. Can I have your T-shirt? Yeah, I'll show you where to get a T-shirt. I paid for my T-shirt with Bitcoin, and so I bought it with Bitcoin, and I'll show you where to go ahead and order that. Anybody else have any questions? As I said, you can press a button on your Zoom and come in and ask your question live. You don't have to just type it in. You guys got any questions? No.
I'm going to go ahead and
Anybody?
unmute people that are on the phone. Some of them called in on the phone. So if you're on here right now and you're on a phone line and not the webinar, your lines get unmuted. So go ahead and mute your mute function if you don't want to talk. But if you have something to say, there's a question there, you are unmuted. Go ahead. Anybody have a question?
And while people are coming in, I'm going to read Scott over in Chiang Mai, Thailand. His answer about the hard fork is that there's far too much money invested in Bitcoin and the blockchain to worry about the hard fork issue. And I completely agree with that. That's what my main point was with this $1.5 billion of VC money invested in this. It's going to be successful. It's going to grow. The brightest, smartest people in the world are going to figure this out to make this a payment system around the world. So there's nothing to worry about. It's going to work out. And just whatever way it is, our mining equipment will be pointed to it, and we're going to be benefited and be able to receive those returns. Scott says people with hundreds of thousands involved will ensure this is not critical long-term issue, that hard fork issue. So yeah, it's going to all work out. So it's nothing to worry about. I completely agree with Scott. Anybody have any questions? All right. Well, Michael, I think we're sort of finished up here. I just really want to encourage people. This is something not to play with. You want to take action on this. I've noticed you take like the founder's position. I just arrived to Hawaii, and I'm getting a bunch of people here in Hawaii signed up as founders while I'm here, people I talked back with 3 months ago. Well, if they would have signed up 3 months ago, they would have had 3 more months of that accumulation for the compounding effect. They would have received, instead of right now, you get 2,000 shares of our CoinPay, they would have received 5,000 shares of CoinPay. So much more of the shares, they would have got a club coin they would have been given. And so that's going to continue, you guys, this 2,000 shares of CoinPay. Next month, it might drop to 1,000 shares. And so, you know, you don't want to play with this. This is something that is going to secure long-term wealth. You guys are going to hear, as I do these calls in the future, you know, I've been talking about a person using the strategic plan will be able to get 30 to 60 Bitcoin in 2020. Well, I hope you understand as we move into the summer months, my messaging is going to be changing. You're going to be hearing me talking about, you know, using that strategic plan of 6 months of accumulation, reinvestment for 2017, a year for 2018, and then resetting those pools for 2019 to maximize your Bitcoin. A person might accumulate, you know, 25 to 45 Bitcoin, you know, and then you'll hear me going to next year, 2018, where there's only going to be 1 year for them to compound. We might be talking about a person accumulating 20 to 30 Bitcoin. So the time issue of money with compounded interest, if you look at that graph with 1 penny and double that first week, what happens the second week, it's the value of time that is going to allow you to maximize how much Bitcoin you're going to be getting in this era of the 12.5 Bitcoin. So you guys want to, you know, people you care about, people you want to help empower their life, people you want to help become wealthy financially. You want to take action on this and get information to them as soon as possible. And as I said, the real benefit, though, is that we will be hearing about down the road. So let's say, you know, come 2018, 2019, maybe the friends and people you loved ones missed out on the Bitcoin mining. Well, you know, there are going to still be other opportunities in cryptocurrency that we'll be able to share with people to increase their net worth and make money, because we're looking for what's going to be that next Google, what's going to be that next Facebook, what's going to be that Uber, what's going to be that Skype in the cryptocurrency field. And so as we find those things, we're going to be able to bring that and allow people that you know down the road to benefit and take advantage of those things. So it's going to be an ongoing aspect of wealth creation occurring with Big Club Network. As I said, 99% of the people in the world don't know about this right now. As the world starts utilizing it, starts finding out about it, more and more people utilize it. Those of us who are here sharing, involved now, will be the beneficiaries financially from this worldwide change in a better, easier way of banking, of moving money, and of storing value. This is the future. You guys are getting in at the early stages of it. I'm just so excited for yourself, for your future, for your friends that you share it with. You guys have a wonderful evening, and aloha from the Big Island. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jett. Appreciate it. Guys, it's going to be the next call will be Thursday, same time, same link. So Thursday night, you'll be able to come back here with this same Q&A webinar. Guys, have a blessed night. Thanks, Mr. Jett.
Oh, my pleasure. Take care.
Thanks, Michael.